Stage 3 is the selection of promising questions that the kids are actually going to work with. As a teacher, you're going to find that the kids produce all sorts of questions, low-level questions and high-level questions. And you have to filter these questions. Some of them are going to be better than others in deepening knowledge. So the idea of a promising question is simply one that is going to lead to much deeper knowledge compared to low-level questions that might be fact-based. So an example might be, for a fact-based question, how old is the universe? It'd be a certain age. But if you ask a question, how do we know how old the universe is? That brings it up to the promising level quite significantly. You'll notice your questions that when you first started out, they were really small snippets, little bits and pieces. And then as you guys progressed, as you became more knowledgeable, the questions started expanding and the answers started expanding. So the more knowledge that you guys gained, the more opportunity you were able to build on each other's work to make it more meaningful compared to what was at the beginning. So that is a very natural progression in just about any field of endeavor where you're just starting and learning.
Yeah, the first couple of days were a lot of just throwing stuff out there, hoping it like
was
just
really
definitions.
We had all these really simple questions that we were answering, and it was just, and then as it continued, all these questions got just a teeny little bit more complicated, and then we got more in depth into the idea of the black holes and everything, and I thought that was really interesting when we did it.
Yeah, and now that we're farther in, after hundreds of posts later, I think we're starting to dig a lot deeper, getting into things with a lot more intense information, more specifics, and like a lot more mathematical in some ways.
That was the thing at the start. Like, we started with a lot of broad questions, and the easier questions were answered easily. But the questions that were harder to answer, we started digging deeper, and that's how we got so many views. Like, we just kept going on the harder questions.
We started out with these really broad questions, and because of all, like Jenna said, all the all the things that we're learning, our questions are getting more specific and more to the point. So I feel like, in a sense, that way that we're learning a lot.
The point is to absorb the information, learn it yourself, and then post it for the others to view, right? So it's not just an act of copying, it's actually like an act of learning these scaffolds. That's how it works.